With the recent release of Boruto TBV VORTEX Chapter 16, I feel like it's a perfect time to predict what events will occur in the near future. This chapter got a lot of criticism for being quote unquote too slow, but what people don't realize is the story is about to shift gears. An entirely new arc is about to happen. So this would be considered a transitioning chapter, which usually is used as a way to conclude the previous arc and advertise what's about to come in the future of that series. And that's exactly what we're here to talk about today. Because based on the end of this chapter, I think I have an idea on a few different fights that could be coming our way sooner than you all think. And one of those fights which I did talk about in a past video but didn't really go in depth was Mitski versus Ryu, the Shinji clone. So before I hop into the premise of today's video, if you would like, I'd appreciate it if you drop a quick little like on the video, as it would help the video do way better in the YouTube algorithm. We're trying to hit 10k subscribers by the end of the year. That's our goal right there. So we need as much traction as possible for that to happen. But I know you heard me ramble on long enough, so let's just get into the video now. Let's first talk about the conversation between KASHIN Koji and Shikamaru, because I feel that's a direct indication that tells us what Ikimoto is thinking and what direction he plans to go on in the story. Koji told Shikamaru to only send Konohamaru, Sarada, and Mitski to the Land of Wind. Now the reason as of why he chose these specific characters is gonna be revealed later on. All we know so far is this selection is all based off his prescient Shinjutsu. So based off his future vision, sending those members of Team 7 will produce the best possible outcome. He also said those three will work together with two Sand Shinobi to defeat them. I bring this up because him saying this basically confirms that eventually, if everything goes according to plan, they do end up defeating Ryu and Mitsuki in the end. It doesn't mean those five defeat the Shinju on their own, it just means after the fight, whether someone joins in on action or not, the Shinju are gonna be defeated. So let's say if Koji sends Boruto, or maybe even Kawaki joins in the fight after he gets his limiters removed. As unlikely as that sounds, Koji would know something like that is gonna happen, and that's gonna give Konohamaru and the others the advantage in battle. And of course he would do this without telling anyone why he's truly doing this. That's why he told Shikamaru not to ask any questions. So it's still not obvious why he wanted this specific group for this mission, but what is obvious is the fact that we're definitely gonna see a fight from Mitsuki and Ryu. Either very lengthy or a very brief fight. This fight goes way back to the Chunin exams in part 1. So if you're a manga reader only, you most likely never seen this. But Mitski did battle against Shinji, and it was only shown in the anime. You can check my past videos. I've been saying that I believe some things that are considered anime only can foreshadow future events that we'll see in the manga. And this is just another example of that. I'm not trying to say that I was the originator of this concept, but as I see this theory becoming more and more popular on social media, I can't help but feel proud that I knew about this so much earlier than a lot of people. So of course I can be proven wrong and Mitsuki doesn't even fight Ryu, but I feel real strong about the possibility of this battle happening. And of course it's not Mitsuki fighting Shinji directly, it's him fighting his Shinju clone. The anime only tells us vague concepts that'll occur later. So try not to take it at face value when you see Mitsuki fighting Shinji in the anime and think that's what's supposed to happen in the manga specifically. So let's start off with how the fight went in the anime so we can predict how it'll be different in the manga. In the anime, the fight wasn't properly concluded because Mitsuki refused to enter Sage Mode because he wanted to be able to stay in Konoha. But before that, Shinji was taking the upper hand in this battle. So much so that Mitsuki knew he wouldn't be able to win without Sage Mode, so he forfeited. So I think this fight could go very similar to that. Not in terms of Mitsuki forfeiting the fight, you know what I mean, but in terms of him having to use Sage Mode to defeat the Shinji clone. The Iron Sand is very difficult to counter. It's even greater and finer than Gaara Sand, but it does have a weakness. And if we look at Shinji's battle against Mitsuki, and even Boruto, it becomes very obvious what that weakness is. I mean, there could be other weaknesses, but the number one known weakness to the Iron Sand is lightning release. So when you think about it, this lineup does make sense. You have Sarada, who has her Chidori and also has a variety of other lightning release attacks, and Mitski, who's also a very skilled lightning release user. And let's say you add someone like Boruto in the mix of this battle, he can just use his purple lightning and stream it through his sword as a way to combat Ryu as well. So literally, you can make a case for all three of these characters to be able to put up a decent fight against Ryu, just because they're lightning users. And although I would love to see Boruto fight again, or even Sarada, I personally want to see Mitski fight again. I believe Boruto can and probably would defeat Ryu if they fought, and Sarada I think should fight Mitsuki along with Konohamaru. I have a whole video coming on that topic too, so be on the lookout for that. If not next video, then definitely the video after that. So let's say Sarada and Konohamaru end up fighting Mitsuki. That leaves Mitski and maybe one or both of the Sand Shinobi versus Ryu. And I know I do have some explaining to do, and that just stems from me making a video stating that Kawaki versus Ryu would be a thing. But if you really watched that video, I said it was a topic that came up from a discussion I had. And I thought it would be an interesting topic of discussion because I wouldn't mind seeing that happen. And I think it would be the perfect fight for Kawaki to display his new power without his limiters. But narratively, Mitski fighting against Ryu makes much more sense. But what I just stated can happen. Both Kawaki and Mitski could get a shot at Ryu. Let's say Kawaki joins in on the mission in the Land of Wind and helps Mitski, or maybe Mitski just loses his fight and Kawaki takes his place, or perhaps that whole team works together and makes Ryu retreat for a later time. That right there gives Kawaki a chance to get at Ryu. Sooner or later, it can possibly happen. But all jokes aside, I do think they have the necessary personnel already to handle things without any outside help. And I say that because I was skeptical if Mitski would be able to pull off such a feat, judging off how his battle against Boruto went. But perhaps the Sand Shinobi could provide the necessary help they need to accomplish it. It's very likely the Iron Sand and Claw Marks combo could be a problem, and that alone makes fighting against the Shinju very difficult. It takes their mobility in battle to an entirely different level. And that's not even the worst part. You really have to defeat these dudes in one blow, because if you damage them too much and allow one to escape, they can just heal any injury they sustain in the fight and continue to fight like nothing ever happened. The fact that all of them have access to the Shinjutsu is just insane. And it's not like Kawaki will be there to shrink the claw marks either. So they're gonna have to deal with this one way or another. Hidari got hit with Boruto's Rasengan from point blank range. And then he just used the claw marks to go back and heal like it was nothing. He even got hit with an Uzuhiko and still was probably going to escape and heal those injuries if Kawaki didn't step in. So if we're thinking off this fact, does Mitski have a technique that could deal enough damage to incapacitate or kill any of the Shinju in one blow? Probably not any technique he used so far in Blue Vortex. But the good thing about having Mitski only fight one time, and in that fight not showcase too much, is that he can possibly still have a new technique up his sleeve that could be very useful against the Shinju. I mean, they can literally give him something to do the job and just say he learned how to do it or obtain the skill during the time skip. But most likely what will happen is Mitski along with someone else not named Konohamaru or Sarada will assist them in defeating Ryu, or at least force them to retreat until a later time. But if we take what Koji said at face value, then both Ryu and Mitsuki will be defeated in this upcoming fight. So overall, I don't expect this fight to be anything crazy. It's not like the fight will be a one-on-one battle or anything. It'll be a team effort to win this match. What will be more interesting, and personally a fight I would want to see way more, is Sarada and Konohamaru versus Mitsuki. And in that fight, we can get a reveal at something we all been waiting for to see. But like I said, I'm not going to spoil too much. That's just a little nugget for y'all to think about for now and maybe stir up some interesting conversation. But in the comment section below, I want to know how you all feel about a potential matchup between Mitski and Ryu. The matchup we all been waiting for. And when Mitski uses his Sage mode, will that be enough to put him in a position to win the fight? The only thing we really have to go off is Mitski's battle against Boruto for now. And if each of the Shinju are able to rival and even surpass Code's level of power, that would inevitably have to mean to defeat the Shinju, when fighting together, you'll have to reach a near Jigen level to come out of that battle alive. So now thinking about that, what do you guys and girls think? Can they do it alone? Or will some outside help like Boruto be what they need to ensure their survival? So I'm gonna just leave y'all with that to think about for now. Like always, if you enjoyed this short little video, be sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe, as well as turn on them post notifications so you don't miss another video like this or when I live stream the Boruto leaks every month. I love y'all boys and girls. Thank you for all the love and support that you show me. It really means a lot. I'm glad I could be in this position to give you guys these videos and entertain y'all at the same time. So until my next video, I'll see y'all later, and I'm out. Peace.